Well, hello friends. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jenny, and in today's video, we're gonna be talking some favorites. And you know why? Because life can be hard enough sometimes, in my opinion. So I made it my personal mission to find all of the things that can make my life, or actually make my life, more beautiful, more enjoyable and joyful, and why not? Maybe even easier sometimes. I strongly believe that life is as beautiful as we make it. Regardless of the budget, our living situation, where we live, what we do for a living, and all of that, it's up to us to try to find as many beautiful things that we can that really improve our life, make it more enjoyable, bring some sort of improvement, regardless of how big or small, but it's up to us, because if we don't do it, nobody else will do it for us. So I thought about creating a series of videos this year that I'm going to be releasing probably like every quarter or so. Kind of like feels nice to do it every quarter. Also, can we please talk about the fact that the first quarter of the year is already gone? Like, this is going so fast, I can barely keep up with it. Please slow down, 2025. Whew. But we're digressing here. So yeah, I thought about creating a little series of videos that, again, I'm going to be releasing every quarter, so I can share with you my current favorites and all of the things that really brought joy and improvement to my life, all in all. So grab a drink, make yourself comfortable, and yeah, let's get cracking. We have a lot to chat about.
Obviously, she is gonna be my favorite for life. Right, Dada? My favorite for life.
The first thing that I'm going to be talking about is probably something that when you hear about it, you are going to be thinking,
what the heck?
Where the heck did you live for the past, 10 years of your life? I have no idea either. So if you know the answer to where I might have lived the last 10 years of my life and what did I do, please let me know so we can be friends and we can talk about it. My first favorite currently, and of the past few months, because I've been obsessed with it, is, wait for it, Google Calendar. No, I'm not kidding. It's Google Calendar. Well, first and foremost, Google Calendar is completely free and it's insanely easy to use. I am personally not someone that can be bothered with investing a lot of time and energy into something in order to learn how to use it in order to be able to achieve something like being more organized and productive. I want something that allows me right here, right now, to start being more organized and productive, to feel like I have my life more together, but right now. I don't want to be wasting any time with tutorials and anything like that. I never thought I could be someone who would benefit from a digital calendar. I thought it was pretty pointless, or I didn't really have the need for it. When I changed my job last year, we use Google Calendar a lot at my job. And so after a few months, I started to ask myself, is there any way this can be useful for me as well? Turns out the answer is yes. As much as using something like Notion can be enticing and interesting and kind of like fancy and whatever, it sounds a little bit too complicated for my brain. And again, I don't have time and I don't have the energy or patience to invest into watching a bazillion tutorials in order to be able to understand how I can use it. Google Calendar is right there. I can start using immediately, and there's a decent level of customization that I can create in order to make it functional for me and for my needs. Having something on my phone where I can note things down and where I can time block and color code everything is amazing. I use it primarily for these two things. So I can time block and color code according to, itchy nose, according to whatever type of thing that I need to do. And I can note everything down. I can put it on my calendar. I can drag it to another time or day if that doesn't happen right now. And I use it for everything. Medical appointments, social things, to-dos, my actual job, YouTube stuff, for literally anything. And it's so much more effective for me rather than have 50 million post-it notes that might get lost somewhere, or having 50 million alarms on my phone that might get on at the most random time. I'm doing something else at the moment, I turn it off and then I forget about it. So this has been much more efficient, incredibly easy, free and more customizable. And so I'm absolutely in love with it. It has improved my life so much lately. So yes, I am such a boomer for starting to use a digital calendar in late 2024. I know. Please don't judge. Like, Google Calendar is like my best friend right now, and it's gonna be for a very, very long time. My next favorite is something completely random, but this is not a luxury channel. We're talking about real things in real life here, especially if these are things like kind of like on a budget. I live a very simple life, so let's be real. I live on my own. I don't have a lot of money to waste on things, but I live a simple life. And if something even super small brings some sort of improvement or, joy to my life, I'm gonna be happy about it, regardless of what it is and how much does it cost. Peppermint tea. I've been a regular and religious coffee drinker since about, I was 18 years old. When I started prepping for my high school finals. That's when I started drinking coffee regularly, as far as I can remember. And it's been a love story ever since. The fact that I'm a coffee drinker does not necessarily exclude that I can also be a tea drinker and a tea person. Those things can perfectly go with each other. And a few months ago, it occurred to me that I don't know how it started, but I started drinking peppermint tea. And especially I've discovered this brand, which is H&S, and you get this in the pharmacy. So this is a medicinal tea. So you can't really abuse of it. But I am kind of like a low budget girly anyways. So if I drink tea from bags, I'm gonna be using the same bag twice. That's for sure. Why do I love peppermint tea so much? Peppermint tea is incredibly refreshing. It has such a good taste, in my opinion. I cannot wait to brew this, let it cool down, put it in the fridge and have it like as a refreshing drink in the summer. I think this would work perfectly. It's a herbal tea, so you're not adding to that caffeine consumption, daily consumption, because I try to keep it kind of like low, because otherwise my stress would go through the roof. Also, it's especially good for, if you're having digestive problems, if you have a little bit of a stomach ache, this works so well. Bloating and all of that, this works so well. So yeah, peppermint tea it is. My next thing is also something that is kind of like food related. A few months ago, I was recommended by my rheumatologist. I have rheumatoid arthritis, so I have to go to my rheumatologist pretty much every 3 months. My iron levels were pretty low. And so I was recommended to eat a lot of iron-rich foods, and especially my doctor told me anything that is red colored will be your friend. So she recommended, for example, beets. I know that beets are not probably the most iron-rich type of vegetables out there, but I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. So I bought beets, and to be honest, I don't hate them, but they're a little bland with a weird aftertaste. So I won't consume them on their own. So it's either a salad with a lot of different ingredients, or I found out blended with frozen fruits as a smoothie. And let me tell you, I am absolutely obsessed. If you need to do something for your health that might feel like a little bit of a chore, but you make it enjoyable, you make it fun, and you also make it like aesthetically pleasing, because let's face it, this smoothie has this hot pink, fuchsia pink color. It's insane how beautiful it is. I would chug it down so fast. I love it. I don't have a blender. I only have my trusty immersion blender. Sometimes it's a little bit challenging to actually get things done with that blender, but it's okay. Some frozen fruits, whatever I have on hand, a splash of plant-based milk, a little bit of agave syrup, and beets chopped into pieces. I'll blend it until smooth and creamy, and I'll just use it with my stainless steel straws that I bought at IKEA. It was a set for about like 5 years. I cannot recommend it enough. If you want a smoothie that looks pretty and it tastes amazing and fills up your tummy with a lot of goodness and happiness, you gotta give this a try. Next item might be something that's gonna be raising probably a lot of eyebrows, because I'm pretty aware of the fact that right now this thing is everywhere. It's kind of like super viral. Everyone seems to have it. And trust me when I say that I don't buy things just because they're on trend or just because they're viral and everyone has it. So I want to jump on the trend train and be a part of the community. No. If it happens to be on trend and if I purchase it, it's purely and entirely because I like it. I know that I will enjoy it. And I know that it's gonna be something that I'm gonna be realistically using because we don't have any money to waste here. Enough with the blabbering. My next favorite is, yes, I got myself a Longchamp Les Pliages tote bag. Now I'm gonna be saving you the story of when I tried to purchase a Longchamp tote on Vinted and the French guy that sold it to me tried to sell me a fake. Somebody tried to scam us once. I'm not gonna let it happen twice. So went to the store and I purchased it new from the store. I actually was interested in a model that is currently discontinued, so it's impossible to find in stores. So that's why I went on the secondhand market first. This is one of the best things I've ever bought, let me tell you that. I think there is a reason why these are so popular. I got from the original collection, I got the black one, and the original collection of the Longchamp totes has these leather, tan leather accents. The reason why I purchased this, I actually have been thinking about it for quite a while, since last summer. There's been a lot of back and forth. I talked myself out of it and then I toyed with the idea again until I went ahead and I bought it. The reason why I bought it is because I was looking for something that I could use as an alternative to backpacks, which sometimes make my life easier when I go to work. Sometimes they don't, especially if I'm going on a very crowded train and I need to slide it off my bags all the time. If I need to pay for something, I always need to bring an extra bag that I can carry here in the front, like a bum bag or a sling bag of some sort. Sometimes it's not just the most practical thing. So I was looking for a bag that was large enough to carry my work essentials, but also something that I could use in my free time to carry everything. And also something that I could use as a personal item if I'm traveling. And let me tell you, this checks all the boxes. This is lightweight, it is resistant. You can fit so much in there and it's incredibly versatile. It pairs with everything in my wardrobe. If I'm dressing casually, this kind of like elevates my outfit and makes it a little bit more refined. And if I'm wearing something that's a little bit on the formal side, this tones it down a little. It's a workhorse. I can toss everything in here and this is incredibly resistant. It is made of this nylon material, so if I get caught in the rain, I don't have to worry about it. I can just wipe it clean if it gets dirty. This is amazing. This was 130 euros. I saved for it, but this is not cheap. This is the most I've ever spent on a bag, or that I spent on clothing in general. Like, this is really expensive, but it's a good quality product, and I am shredding the cost per wear to nickels and dimes because I wear this and I use this so much. I know that there's a little bit of issue with corner wear when it comes to Longchamp bags, but A, I don't throw my bag everywhere. I am careful with it, and B, they offer free corner repair. If I'm not using it, I can fold it flat and pack it really small and hang it on my clothing rack. So I am incredibly excited about this bag. I am so happy that I got it. I bought it back in January. I've been using it so much. It's insane. I cannot stop raving about it. Yeah, and I can imagine this being one of my favorites for a long time coming still. On this note, I'm gonna use this as a transitional item for my next favorite. I bought this little cute book, which is Les Pliages by Longchamp. And it's a super cute, this is the German version of the book. It has the most beautiful aesthetic pictures and a brief history of the company and of the item itself. And this would make a perfect coffee table book. I live in a tiny studio apartment. I don't have space for a coffee table. So I purchased this as an actual book that I'm going to be reading. And also it's so aesthetic. And for the 13 euros that this has costed me, I thought this was a very, very nice and unique book. And this brings me to my next favorite, which has been reading. In 2024, I wasn't really doing okay. And when I'm not doing fine and I'm under a lot of stress, I'm tired all the time, I despite being an avid reader, I stopped reading because it feels like something that requires a lot of energy that I don't have. So in the entire year 2024, I only read 7 books, which for me is very, very few books. But this year I found that spark for reading again. And so I already read almost the exact same amount of books that I read in the entire year last year. So I'm on to book number 5, which I know might not be a lot to some of you, but for me, it's already a huge improvement comparing to last year. I am currently reading a book about nutrition. If you live in Germany, you're probably familiar with Buskast. Buskast is a scientific journalist that a few years ago has written a very compelling and interesting book about nutrition. This is not specifically targeted for plant-based nutrition, but still, I thought this was recommended to me, and I thought I would still be able to get a lot from this book, and I'm trying to educate myself more about nutrition. So that's that. I've been enjoying this so much. I haven't read much of it yet, but I'm really enjoying it. And I do have already some books on my soon to be read list. First one is this, which has been a very lovely birthday gift that I received last year, Blue Sisters by Coco Mellers. Also another book that I received as a gift last year is, I'm totally gonna be butchering this name, I'm so sorry about it, Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. This has been a most lovely gift from my partner, and I'm so excited to be reading this. Next, I have a big book coming up. I am a sucker for biographies and memoirs. Angela Merkel's Freedom. This is a 700 plus pages book about her life. I got the Italian version. I wasn't ready to read this in German, like that would be too much of a thing for me. And finally, I have another novel. This is Fun by Bela B. Felsenheimer. If you're familiar with German culture of some sort, you might know the band Die Ärzte, and Bela B. Felsenheimer is the drummer of the band Die Ärzte, and he does 50 million different things. One of them is writing novels, and this is his second novel. This is going to be my second ever book that I read in German. I am pretty fluent in German, but I always thought that it would be too much of a task for me to read books in German. But in 2024, one of the very few books that I read was actually a book in German that I read from start to finish. It took me a little bit of time, but I was happy that I went through with it. And so I'm excited to be reading my second book in German anytime soon. Finally, this is something that I haven't done in a while, but continues to be a very big favorite of mine. Last time I did one of these was back in January, and before that it was in November. So it has been a while, but lately I've been enjoying a lot some things that I found at clothing swaps. Now, I love secondhand everything, but especially clothing, thrift stores, flea markets, vintage. Give me anything that's secondhand and I will be the happiest child on Christmas Day. But clothing swaps are just the next level because you can get rid of things that you no longer need and give them to someone else and make that person happy and give a second home and a second life to things that for you no longer have a serving. And B, you can find some pretty amazing things, and that is absolutely for free. Or if you go to big public events, usually you have to pay like a small fee for entrance, but it's incredible what you can find. I have found so many great pieces that I've been wearing and using, and some pieces that I haven't been able to wear yet due to, this weird season we're in, and also because when you find like spring pieces in the middle of winter, there's not really much that you can do with them. You just have to wait for the right season to wear them. And so, yeah, that has been something that I've been so excited about because, I'm a low budget girly, but I love doing things that also have an eye, not only on your wallet, but also on the environment. We are living in a more than oversaturated world where things keep being produced, but there is still so much that we have. And so clothing swaps are one of the best, my favorite ways to give to stuff a second life and to find things that you would never have found probably otherwise completely for free. So just a nice way to spruce up your wardrobe a little bit on a very, very low budget. So yeah, I've been rambling for so long. Those happen to be my current favorites. If you have any favorites or something that you would like, that you have enjoyed a lot lately and that you would like to share with me or with the whole community, then feel free to leave a comment below. Other than that, if you have enjoyed this video or you enjoy my content in general and you want to support me, then feel free to give this video a huge like and to subscribe. It will help me so much with my channel. Share this video if you'd like, so we can see this community grow and I would be potentially able to create more videos for you. That would make me so happy. And yeah, I guess I will see you soon in my next video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.